Hello again, I am Blunty, and today I will be reviewing something that is completely outside my normal realm of experience, something I normally have nothing at all to do with, something I know so very little about that it's almost ridiculous for me to be talking about a product that does this thing. The thing it does is make my apartment tidier, which is something I know almost nothing about. It's this thing, it's the Samsung Navibot. And it's one of those little round puck vacuum cleaner robot things. And robots and electronics is something I know about, but devices that help make my living space tidier, almost nothing. I know most people are the same way. There are very few people who really enjoy cleaning, but I just avoid it. I do the absolute minimum amount so I can, stay relatively disease-free in my own living quarters and not trip over dust bunnies the size of real bunnies and things like that. But by and large, cleaning not one of my favourite things to do. Which is why tiny little robots that do the cleaning for me is such an exciting concept. Put the thing on the floor, you turn it on, you can even put a timer on it, the Samsung Navibot, you can program it to do your cleaning, you don't even have to bother it. You set it up, you put it there and it does it. It goes and wanders around and cleans for you, and it's very thrilling to me because then I have to do even less cleaning. I can spend more time doing things like playing video games and drinking. You pull it out of the box, you put it on the floor and you turn it on, and it's supposed to just be almost completely autonomous, just rolling about your floor, sucking up all the crap that comes off your feet and head and skin flakes and all that disgusting stuff you really don't want to think about your home being coated in. It's got a little camera on top of the device that actually looks up at the ceiling and works out where it is. It's got like a gazillion different sensors going around the outside of it, so it can tell when it bumps into something and how close it is to an edge and all that sort of stuff. But how well does it work? How advanced is it? Does it do its job properly? To my great joy, I found out that it does actually do a pretty damn good job of cleaning my floor. It doesn't do the edges very well, so you're still going to have to go around with a vacuum cleaner or a broom or a little dust buster vacuum cleaner or something, just tying out the bits it can't reach. But the spots to clear that, it's a fraction of the total surface area of your home, so you only have to do that once in a while just to clean up the bits it didn't get, and you can do that in 5 minutes, which makes your life a lot easier than having to do the entire surface area of your floor. See, most of us grew up watching shows like the Jetsons, and they had robot servants. Rosie the robot was the Jetsons' personal maid robot, so they didn't have to do anything around the house. They got super lazy about cleaning up, and Rosie did everything. And I wanted that future when I was a kid, but I wanted it without all Rosie's passive-aggressive whining like a great big metallic bitch that she was. I don't know why the Jetsons kept her around, quite honestly. I don't know why they didn't recycle her and get a whole swarm of these little floorbots racing around. Of course, being the enormous nerd that I am, I had to have some fun with it. You've got this little autonomous robot that trundles along the floor on little wheels, and instantly my mind thought, R2-D2, why not R2-D? I'm going to have R2-D2 trundling around my floors, cleaning up my crap, and I couldn't be happier about that, so of course I put my R2-D2 toy on top and let it rundle around, which was incredibly amusing for... Actually, it never stopped being incredibly amusing until it went to dive underneath my couch, at which point R2-D2 got knocked off and was helpless on his back like some sort of disease-ridden turtle. One of the really weird things, it's almost disturbingly weird, one of the things that happens when you have one of these robot vacuum cleaner things in your house, like the Samsung Navibot, is you begin to personify it, because it's a little autonomous thing, and it runs around and it has its own little intelligence and it does its own thing, and you start personifying it, you start talking to it, you start treating it like a dumb little pet or something like that. It is a little bit like having a stoned cat wandering around your place, sporadically bumping into furniture and diving underneath your couch every once in a while. It's kind of weird just to watch it do its thing, and the whole idea of it is so you don't have to worry about cleaning. You set it and it does its cleaning for you, and you just go on with other stuff. But I don't know whether it was the initial novelty of having it for a week and testing it out or what, but I would often stop what I was doing just to watch it clean. It seems to destroy the time-saving point of a device like this when, you do it so you don't have to spend time cleaning, but when it cleans, you sit there and watch it because it's really cool to watch a robot clean your goddamn floor. It didn't really save me a lot of time because I was sticking R2-D2 units on it and playing with it and grabbing the remote control and driving it around the house manually and things like that because I'm a giant nerd. Now what you get in the box, you get the unit, of course, you get its little base station, you get some
some spare brushes, so when the other ones wear out you can replace them. Both the little side brushes that spin around and the main sort of brush that picks up crap and spoons it into its vacuumy mouth. And you also get a remote control from which you can program, so you don't have to bend over to get to the switches on the top of it. You can do it all from the remote. You can set it to go manually, you can set it for a spot clean, you can set it to, you know, return to its base, you can even drive it around manually if you like. And the top end model also comes with these two tiny little monolith things that you can set up in certain areas to actually provide a fence or a gate to stop the unit wandering into areas where you don't want it to wander into. Which is a brilliant idea, because maybe you've got, you know, a 10,000 piece puzzle sort of laid out on the floor in the next room, or your kids got their Lego out on the bedroom floor. You don't want the robot going in there and just gobbling it all up and ruining your entire day. So having these two little things you can set up as gates or fences, and it'll just stop the unit dead in its tracks. It's got a little infrared beam or something. It just goes, whoa, I can't go in there. I'll turn around and I'll go that way. It's got its own little charging base station thing that it can find its own way to. So if when it runs down on battery, it knows, oh, my battery's getting flat. I need to go have a feed. It's like a cat just wandering towards the cat bowl. There I go, personifying the damn thing again. It's ridiculous. So, but anyway, it goes back for a little feed of the electronic juices. Nom, 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 when the battery gets flat. It's not particularly good at that. It does always make its way back eventually, no problem, but sometimes it takes a few goes. It'll sort of miss it by a bit and stuff like that, and it'll have to turn around and go back and come back and then try again. But it always does make its way back, just not... I don't think I've ever seen it do it on the first try. It always has a little adjustment to do, but as long as it always makes it back, that's not really a big deal. Alright, so the Samsung Navibot little robot vacuum cleaner guy, awesome piece of technology, lots of fun, kind of adorable in its own way, and that's kind of weird feeling to me to be calling a vacuum cleaner an adorable robot thing. It's just something I'll have to move past on my own eventually. Some therapy, I'm sure I'll get beyond it. But it doesn't come cheap. I mean, you're looking about $800. There are a couple of different models, but, you know, you're approaching $1,000 worth of robot vacuum cleaner here, so they don't come cheap. If they were a lot cheaper, I'd buy one in an instant. But people do spend that kind of money on vacuum cleaners. I mean, you get the, you know, the really fancy Dyson cyclonic vacuum cleaners and stuff like that, and they go for about the same price. So it's not beyond sort of the thought that you can spend that much money on a vacuum cleaner. It's just that it's tough for guys like me to spend that much on a vacuum cleaner. I had this unit on loan from Samsung. I didn't go out and buy it, and I don't know whether I would go out and buy $800 or more worth of vacuum cleaner, but it is a robot and it's really cool. You know, I've got no problems with recommending it as a good device. I just don't know whether I would rush out and buy one tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Blunty. I'll catch you next time.